minutes. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Teddy Caputo.
I'm Erin Lanahan. I can't believe it's already our last newscast. Crazy how time flies.
I know, right? I felt like the semester just started yesterday, but now it's time for our year-end review show. But first, a fight breaks out during a kickball game on spring weekend. Several students injured and 2 knocked unconscious. An exact cause for the fight is still unknown. Here's a video of the fight sent to us by a Bonaventure student. Christian Gravis, one of 2 students knocked out in the fight, declined to comment on camera about the fight, but he did give me a statement to read. In it, he said, "People started fighting, so I went in and grabbed one of my teammates and friends by the waist to get him out of there and hopefully stop anything from escalating. The next thing I knew, I woke up to members of MERT and other friends of mine by my side. I was told I was kicked in the back of the head and knocked unconscious. The whole thing is really a blur. I never showed concussion-like symptoms, but the back of my head is still sore, and the incident definitely put a damper on my final spring weekend at Bonas." He's not pressing any charges on the individuals responsible, but he did say, "Even though I was defenseless and completely blindsided, I see the whole thing as individuals not thinking and acting on impulse rather than an actual malicious attack." I reached out to university officials. They couldn't comment on any disciplinary action at this time. We are attempting to reach out to Team Sirac and Roll for their side of the story.
The African American Cultural Center raised more than $1,000 this past weekend. However, the center is seeking more funds for the completion of the building. The center needs to have $143,000 to complete the project. Delamore, the director of the center, expresses her hopes to meet the number of funds needed to complete the project.
As soon as we get the funds and we be able to say, okay, put the stamp on it, sign the papers, and then we can start putting hammer to the nail. Yes.
Last week, we brought you a story about the history of St. Joseph's Church. Now, here's a preview of a future celebration planned for September. St. Joseph's Church will be celebrating the 100th year anniversary of the laying of its cornerstone. The church laid its cornerstone on September 6th of 1919. The 3-day event will feature a reunion of people that attended St. Joseph's School, a dinner, and 2 masses with the bishop. The contents of both time capsules from the school and the church will be on display, which includes relics, coins, parchments, and letters, among other things. The church hopes for a big crowd this fall.
Now we're going to take you back through our stories this year. In the last year, drugs became a major concern for the Olean area. Olean police saw 2 major meth arrests, while St. Bonaventure students were held at gunpoint over a suspected drug-involved robbery.
Meth has become a growing concern for the Olean area. For the second time, cops swarmed this apartment just after midnight on February 27th in an apparent meth lab bust. They arrested resident Courtney Guinier for child endangerment. Resident Tyler Harding evaded arrest and is still wanted for the production of meth. This wasn't the end of meth-related arrests for the Olean PD. In April, 3 people were arrested in the CVS parking lot for drug possession. And 3 people were arrested on drug possession in this exact parking lot in the CVS in Olean, New York. They're arrested on drug possession, including marijuana, meth, prescription pills, and hypodermic needles.
I just hope that people wake the heck up because it's not good.
And all the way back in November, 2 men were arrested and charged with robbery after entering the Gardens East apartments on the St. Bonaventure campus. One student said the man held them at gunpoint while they robbed the students of their phones and laptops. The 2 men were released and arrested again in April for possession of crack, heroin, and other drug paraphernalia. For SBU-TV, I'm Megan Burke.
The 2 men arrested for the Gardens apartment armed robbery last semester, identified as Diamond Allen and Nadar Ngupus from Buffalo. After being arrested at this home on North 8th Street for drug possession, the 2 men were booked at the Olean Police Department where they waited for arraignment.
Don't move. Coming up, a look back on our coverage of the priest-sex abuse scandal in the area. And as the Burton Bar's close to sold, an update on where things stand in minutes. You're watching SBU-TV, New Now Next.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Staring contest! You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help.
You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
In the Diocese of Buffalo, 176 priests accused of sexual misconduct since April. This makes up 7% of the current Buffalo priest population. With new information coming out, let's take a look at what we covered this year.
The Franciscan Institute at St. Bonaventure University canceled its academic conference on the sexual abuse crisis within the Catholic Church.
Recent sexual abuse scandals that have surfaced.
121 members of the clergy in the diocese accused of sexual abuse or misconduct.
An Ellicottville priest was accused in a sex abuse scandal.
Father Gervais White, who was an administrator and teacher for 47 years, listed on a report of clergymen with allegations of sexual abuse.
Dr. Dennis DePiero calling for Buffalo Bishop Richard Malone to resign.
Dr. Dennis DePiero calling for Bishop Richard J. Malone to resign.
Issued a statement calling for Bishop Malone of the Diocese of Buffalo to step down.
That wasn't a statement.
Is DePiero himself being transparent enough?
Things are not looking up for the Diocese of Buffalo.
DePiero still has not followed up on his statements for the bishop's resignation, while Ellicottville's Reverend Ronald B. Mirzwa accusation of sexual abuse has been forwarded to the Vatican. Plus, we covered 4 fires in Cattaraugus County. I looked back on each blaze and the recovery afterwards. Student workers had to clear out Francis Hall on St. Bonaventure's campus late one night in November of 2018, all because of a boiler mount function. The fire in the boiler room took 3 hours for the Allegheny Volunteer Fire Department to extinguish. Then 150 gallons of oil spilled on a cold February morning. Allegheny firefighters finally put the blaze out after 5 hours. The oil well, about 20 minutes west of campus, is located in the town of Allegheny. Officials reported no environmental threat to the Allegheny River. In March, a Bonaventure apartment caught fire after a student left a pot unattended on her stove. By the time Allegheny Fire Department members showed up to the townhouse, the fire was out. There were over $25,000 in damages. They needed to replace kitchen appliances and clean the entire townhouse due to the amount of smoke. Repairs will be finished before the students come back in the fall. Sadly, a Bonaventure faculty member lost her home to a fire in April. Officials said clothes left on a dryer started the fire in Portville. It only took fire department members an hour to extinguish the flames. The family is staying with other family members until their house is rebuilt. Happy to report everyone is safe and nobody was injured in any of these fires.
This year, the Burton Bar went up for sale for $469,000 and $900. Let's take a look at the footage.
Patsy Collins
bought the Burton in 1975. After 38 years, he handed the business down to his 2 children, Chuck and Chrisanne. Now, 5 years later, they've decided to sell the bar to take care of their own personal matters.
If you go to our Facebook page and see the comments, it's just overwhelming. I mean, all the people that care about us like we cared about them. Whoever buys it is buying it for the Burton name, for the Burton burger, and they want to carry on the tradition. People don't want to see us go.
Chrisanne said there's a good possibility that one of several parties might make an offer. All interested parties are Bonaventure alums. Along with make a surprising run in the Atlantic 10 Championship, the Bona Wolf made an appearance on Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon hosted the first ever college night slam dunk contest. The Bona Wolf scored a perfect 10 with this dunk.
It knocked his head off! We had the blur on his head!
A mascot can never be seen without his head on!
So now we're actually going to take a look back on all the sports teams at Bonaventure and their successes this year.
What's up, guys? We have some of our favorite clips from this year in sports in our year in review.
Steps and pops from the free throw line. Knocks it down! Then it's up and rattles around and in. Fabulous stop. Let's go, What a save. And another incredible save from Mara Malcolm as that gets the crowd fired up. What a couple of saves up.
seniors, this is our last one. Everyone else is your only one, so give your all. All right? And like Benny used to say, don't give up on me, won't give up on you.
Lofton working on beating. Lofton stops and pops from the free throw line. Rhode Island looking to break an 8-game skid. The inbound from Francis to Johnson. It's up and rattles around and in.
Francis. She'll attack, knifes inside, little floater, and it's good. Tries inside, left hand, too easy for McKenna Maycock.
And you thought last year was a heck of a coaching job by Mark Schmidt, well, you might want to put this year in his top 5 seasons.
Becoming a reality, and for these guys and for yourselves, first home opener, it's historic. Okay? Go and play. Get a good warm up. Stay focused. All business. Do the things that you know how to do and you're capable of doing. We do them consistently. We win today. Okay? We win today. We put this program on the map. Put this program on the map. All right, round and shield. Let's go.
Classic. Good luck in the next one. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, sir. Well played. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Boys, you know what time it is. This is the law of the jungle. As old and as true as the sky. The wolf that keeps it will prosper, but the one that breaks it will die. As the creature that girdles the tree trunk, this law runs forward and back. The strength of the back is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the back.
It was a crazy year in sports here at St. Bonaventure. We hope to see you next year as we take on 2019.
Our focus is usually on bringing you new Now Next news, but now we want to highlight the people that deliver it. Madeline Edwards put together SBU-TV's reporters' best on-camera moments from this year.
I'm here at the Allegheny River Park, the agreed upon location of the construction for the Allegheny River Skate Park.
I'm here at the Onissaquated Cultural Center of the Seneca Iroquois National Museum. Onissaquated means opening of the house, just like the people here open their center to visitors who want to see the corn planter peace pipe tomahawk.
It's finished here at the Riley Center at St. Bonaventure University. However, it will continue on to the end of June, where it will be passed on over the Peace Bridge onto the Canadian side.
The Randolph Trout Hatchery breeds and releases over 200,000 trout per season, some of which might end up here in the Allegheny River behind me.
Intellectual disabilities. Let's see what these ballers bring to the court today.
Some of the products that are banned include vapes, cigarettes, and jewels, like this one.
Cars like this 2019 Chevy Corvette Grand Sport Coupe are those type of cars that will be shown all this weekend at the Buffalo Niagara Convention Center.
Standing in the basement of Butler Gymnasium here on St. Bonaventure campus. This is where the original pool was in the 40s. All that remains now of the pool are the pillars that support the ceiling and the tile that lined the floor.
The attorneys representing the Genesis House told me they have no comment at this time. The next hearing will be held on February 28th.
I'm outside the John J. Murphy Professional Building, where the newly accredited Jandoli School of Communication is housed. What does it mean for this program to be accredited?
I'm standing right outside of the Burton Bar, just a few minutes from St. Bonaventure University's campus. The bar has had numerous owners since 1939, but no one has owned the bar as long as the Collins family.
Body cams like this one right here would help the only police officers document their interactions with the
From Brendan skateboarding in to Jocelyn using a police body camera, each team member showed their creativity in every story they did. Thank you to all of our reporters for a great year. We appreciate all the time you put into each newscast on and off the camera. And that wraps up our last newscast of the year. We had a full year, but now it's time to say bye for the summer. Thank you to all our viewers for watching this year. I'm Erin Lanahan.
And I'm Teddy Caputo. Have a fun and safe summer break, SBU students. We'll see you next semester.
Be excellent.
We want the facts.
We're not here to only get jobs.
We're here to be award-winning.
SBU-TV has taught me everything I know about broadcasting.
SBU-TV has challenged me.
So be ready.
Because we'll be back.
And better than ever.
So stay with us.